All right, today we're going to talk about why we have some of our stainless steel options, what they are, what they do, what's the benefit, what's the science behind it. So we're going to go ahead and start with the weight of the original OG wand machine. Let's see what that weighs in at. 4.2 ounces. Okay, next we have an option where we have a stainless steel spline and we have an aluminum backplate and an aluminum grip. That weighs in at 5.7 ounces. So about an ounce and a half more than that one. The third option we have, you guys can order just the grip online. So it's a stainless steel grip. This grip by itself weighs 4.7 ounces. When you put it on the OG wand, it weighs in at 7.3 ounces. It's a great weight. Now, for those of you that want the most weight, we're going to put the stainless steel grip on a stainless steel spline. Still has the aluminum backplate. Let's see what that weighs at. 8.8 ounces. Pretty nice heavy machine right here. Okay, so let's talk about the why. So why stainless steel options, you ask? Well, let me tell you why. It goes into a little of the science of why we want more weight in the machine. I'll start out by saying a lot of people in the history of rotaries often would say, hey, I can't really line with my rotary machine, so I go back to a coil. And I could line really good with the coil machine. But oftentimes, if you ever noticed, you can feel that hit on the coil machine, and it was very soft. So how is it that they can line better with a softer hitting machine than a rotary machine that's got a really stiff, hard hit? Well, I'll tell you why. It always boils down to the weight of the machine. Traditionally, a coil machine starts out anywhere from 6 to 8, even 9 ounces and even more in weight. So in reality, what's really doing the work for them and why they like to use the coils sometimes more than a rotary is they generally weigh more. So what happens, and a little bit of science behind that, is if you lay on a bed of nails, they're not going to penetrate you. But if you lay it on three, like a 3 tight or a single needle or one nail, that'll penetrate, right? It all has to do with weight distribution per needle type of science. So the more weight you have on your machine, the more that the machine does the work versus you having to push into the skin with your hands, okay? And so a lot of you guys have started out with rotary machines and you've never really experienced a heavier machine, never experienced the benefits of a heavy machine. So today we're going to talk a little bit about those benefits. Let's start out with the 8.8 ounce machine. This has a lot of weight. I would say that this could be really good for some of you guys that are using, the 45 mags, the 35 mags. You're doing heavy saturation, black work, and you really want to just get that ink in the skin and just get it done as quick as you can. So what happens is the weight of this machine does a lot of the work for you. You're essentially just holding the machine and guiding it at this point. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I thought we were getting away from heavy machines because of carpal tunnel and that sort of thing with wrist health. Well, let me tell you the difference. The big difference is when you had a 9-ounce coil machine, it had what they call back weight. So you're squeezing a grip, and oftentimes, especially back in the days, it was an inch, maybe a half an inch, maybe a 3/4 inch grip. And so you got a lot of the back weight, and so your hand is squeezing, your wrist is squeezing nonstop, sometimes for 6 or 7 or 8 hours, depending on the tattoo session. And so you're compensating for that back weight by pulling forward, and you're exercising all the muscles in your hands. That's what leads to hand fatigue. That's what leads to carpal tunnel. Now you can take that same weight. Again, for example, this is 8.8 ounces. What's the difference? Why is it healthier for the wrist? Well, because there is no back weight. You're simply holding the machine, and there's people that often have said that an 8.8 ounce machine, such as this, right, with all these stainless steel options, it's less hand fatigue. And the reason why is you actually almost don't really need to squeeze it as hard as you would maybe, say, a traditional OG wand. And so you're kind of letting the machine do the work, and you're just guiding the machine ever so slightly. Whereas you might with a traditional machine, a traditional OG wand, is you squeeze it, because it's a lighter machine, and you push into the skin when you have a bigger needle grouping. You're pushing into the skin. That act of pushing into the skin, you're having to squeeze it harder, push with your wrist. It's more work. Sometimes a heavier machine does the work for you, and essentially that's a little bit of the science behind all this. So we're only talking about the OG wand. Now, for those of you that use the power wand, and this is my personal machine that I use, You can use the stainless steel grip option on the power wand, and it works great. I love it. I use it a lot. Now let's see what it weighs. This is with the shorty battery pack, and it weighs in at 8.3 ounces. Let's see what it weighs with the bigger battery pack. 8.9 ounces. So again, this is a great weight and it's a great combo. I personally love using the shorty battery pack with the stainless steel grip and the shader. I go to town with this machine. So I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of the science, the whys, the benefits of the different weights of the machine and what you guys can get out of it. For those of you that struggle with lining or heavy saturation with a rotary machine, some of these options you're going to find it's going to be a complete game changer. Where to buy? Go to bishoptattoosupply.com or check your local distributor and see if they have them in stock and get yours today.